Turkish map.
Mm-hmm.
I forget the name of the map, but it was around and known to navigators, and Columbus was a navigator, meaning he was interested in seafaring, and that was his career,
Yeah.
his young career. He studied in Portugal under Prince Henry the Navigator, who had traveled down into Africa with Portuguese ships and then came back. And Columbus somehow knew about this Turkish map.
Mm-hmm.
And among navigators, it was a big secret. But he was let in on it. And with that, and I'll tell you another thing about that map. He takes it to I think the Dutch, France, Portugal, to their the monarchs, the queens and kings, and he needs to have financing to buy these ships, those 3 ships, and the men to pay them. Nobody wanted to finance him, except he comes to the Spanish king and queen, and the queen Isabella, and she listens to him, and she is convinced he is onto something. Now, he was mistaken in the belief that by sailing west from Seville, he'll come to China. He thought he was going to come to China and bring, because at that time, they had to sail around the Cape of Good Horns, Africa, in order to get to the Far East. Why do they want to go to China? Spices. They bring back, the Portuguese bring back spices. Why do the Europeans want spices? To spice their food. There is no refrigeration. Spices save food from rotting.
Yeah.
It preserves them.
We better eat lots of spices.
And that's the whole reason why Columbus wanted to go to China. And he thought from that map, if he sailed directly west, it would shortcut that long, arduous going around Africa and the Cape of Good Horn all the way. It would be a shortcut. So when he finally lands in the Caribbean and he sees the natives there, they look Chinese, they look Asian, they look Asian because they are of Asiatic background, descent. And he comes back, brings a few of them back with him to Spain, and he says, "We have found China.
Back.
We found China." And he didn't, obviously, but they thought they did.
That's funny.
That is.
That map has been studied.
What's the name of that map?
It's a Turkish map by a Turkish admiral from way back when. And it shows the Turks, in all probability, they sailed and they laboriously drew the outlines of the shores as they progressed.
Wow.
Even
That's
up into
so
the Arctic.
hard.
Even up into the Arctic.
Wow.
Now, listen to this. In 1957, the U.S. Air Force is photographing the Arctic Circle with the ice as it's currently the way it is. But they had their cameras were able to cut by radar through the ice and determine the actual shorelines that the ice was overlapping. Someone took those photographs.
What year was that?
1957.
Oh, someone was born that year.
They take these and overlay them. Somebody did on that Turkish map, and they matched.
Wow.
The modern radar photographs matched the original.
The
Turkish.
Turks were brilliant.
That's crazy.
Well, they think the Turkish admiral got that map from somebody else.
Aliens.
Even further back,
Of course.
before the Arctic froze over. Because the original outlines were on the Turkish map, and in 57, the Air Force sees that the radar shows the original Turkish map drawings.
Oh,
So that
That's
map was made
crazy.
before the Arctic
and
froze over.
About what year was that Turkish map made?
God only knows, because it was before the big freeze over of the Arctic.
It was the kings.
Aliens.
It was the three kings.
It was aliens.
Of course.
It's the
Come
most
and see these
extraordinary
dresses. Come
story.
here.
It's the most extraordinary. The Perry Reese map. You can look it up.
Perry Reese
It just
map.
came to me. Piri, Piri Reese, Reis. Piri Reese map.
Nice.
Wow.
And that's the map they think Columbus saw, and he convinced Queen Isabella. It's there, Your Majesty. We have the evidence.